What we're gonna be doing is we're gonna use caramel or something like that. Like some sweet kind of, something like that, sweet and warm caramel toffee type stuff. Never been done before. Will be a hit. What do you mean? Oh, that many, huh? Yeah. Nah, still go with it. Yeah, caramel. Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. Hope you're doing well. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the new Jean Paul Gaultier Scandal in a little bit more detail than in my first impression video. I'll show you guys the presentation for the fragrance, and I'll break this down a little bit and let you know whether or not you should check it out. So let's jump into it. Now, this is how it comes, and actually I've noticed a bunch of different fragrance houses doing this lately. It's got a little slip cover over the box itself, so they're trying to, I guess, fancy it up a little bit. A little extra juice there, a little extra something something. So on the front, you've got the name of the fragrance, you've got the house, and you have a picture of the bottle. And then on the side, it says, this bottle is eco-friendly and scandalously simple to refill. Refill? So basically you can unscrew the cap and put a little extra fragrance inside your bottle if you want to. And on the back, you've got a picture of a boxer who's trying to look, I don't know, like Justin Bieber or something. On the other side of the box, you have a little QR code, and that's it as far as the slipcover goes, or I guess on the side of the slipcover, I should say. And here is your box. It's got a velvety feel to it. Feels nice. Reminds me of the Pure Excess boxes. Got the name of the house, name of the fragrance, size and concentration on the front, Scandal up top. On the back, you're gonna find the QR code once more, and then on the side, once again, reminding you that you can refill your bottle if you want. And then on the bottom, you have your batch code, and mine looks extremely fake, but it's not. I bought this legitimately. It is 11111. That's my batch code. Gotta say, they're making it very difficult for scammers to copy their batch codes. And here's the bottle. Feels good in the hand, nice heavy glass. Name of the fragrance up at the top there. You have a crown cap, which does click into place quite snugly, and it's got a decent amount of heft to it. Nothing on the sides or the back, and on the bottom, you will find your batch code etched into the glass. And I'll waste a couple sprays for you guys. The atomizer on this is quite nice. There we go. This has been mentioned before, but I'll mention it again. The text here, this font, reminds me of the Everlast font, which is a boxing company. Well, they have a lot of boxing goods, we'll say. So this one has a pretty simple note breakdown. You got 5 notes. In the top, you have clary sage and mandarin. In the mid, you have caramel and tonka. And in the base, you have vetiver. And as I kind of alluded to at the beginning of the video, caramel, toffee, notes like that are friggin' everywhere nowadays. It's like the new hotness to an extent. For a while, everybody had to have an oud fragrance. That was a few years back, maybe a little longer back, but everybody had to have an oud fragrance. So if you had a brand, but you had no oud, you were a loser. Nobody wanted to hang out with you. Take the L, keep it moving, everyone hates you until you come out with your own oud fragrance, which is what literally everybody did. You gotta follow the crowd, don't be a leader, be a follower. Then of course we had the blue fragrance wave with Bleu de Chanel and all the fragrances that came after that. And really it seems like since Stronger With You by Emporio Armani, everybody seems to want to have at least one fragrance that makes heavy use of toffee or caramel, or at the very least, tonka that comes across maybe a little bit in that style. And this one, of course, has caramel and tonka both in the mid. So Scandal is kind of like a combination, really, of a bunch of other fragrances out there. Scandal doesn't end up smelling exactly like another fragrance. It's not like really close to one scent out there, but what it is like is having a bunch of little pieces from a bunch of fragrances all put into one. So what I mean by that is when you smell this, you're gonna smell little bits of Versace Eros. You're gonna smell little bits of Le Beau from Jean Paul Gaultier. You're gonna smell little bits of Bad Boy from Carolina Herrera. You're gonna smell little bits of Stronger With You or Stronger With You Intensely from Emporio Armani. Scandal doesn't smell exactly like any of those, but it does have similarities, bits and pieces from every one of those. And one thing also that I'll say before I get into how this smells is that off a tester strip, like I just sprayed, it smells a bit different than off your skin, especially we'll say in the first 15 minutes. When you spray it on a tester strip, it smells a lot fresher. It doesn't smell quite as warm, maybe not quite as sweet, spicy, fresher, and with more of a similarity to Le Beau, the Jean Paul Gaultier fragrance that I mentioned before. So yeah, off a tester strip, this one is a bit fresher. So keep that in mind if you've never smelled this and you go into a store and you spray it on a strip and you smell it, that's not exactly how it's gonna smell off your skin. Off my skin, it does open up with a quick blast of freshness, a bit of clary sage and a spritz of mandarin orange, but really quickly, 5-10 minutes, that starts getting overwhelmed by the caramel and the tonka in the mid. The clary sage lasts a little bit longer than the mandarin does. The mandarin, at least as far as being a discernible note, fades away really quickly. It just kind of melds into the sweetness of the caramel and the tonka. And as this heads through the mid, that's where it's gonna remind you the most of those other fragrances on the market that do make use of caramel and tonka. And as this heads through the mid, that's when it's gonna remind you the most of fragrances that do make heavy use of toffee and caramel. It's, like I said, a really hot note or a pair of notes to be used right now. Of course, with caramel and tonka being so heavily used in here through the mid especially, the fragrance is warm, it's sweet, it's a little bit sticky, not in the sense that it makes your skin sticky, just that it smells sticky sweet. It lingers, it makes a great scent cloud around you, it commands attention, and it is definitely made for people a little bit more on the younger side, we'll say. The vetiver comes out more and more as the fragrance dries down, more of a spicy, woodsy vetiver, not really dry, not a grassy type vetiver, no smokiness or anything like that. So I'd say a fairly clean vetiver with spicy woody facets. The fragrance itself smells really appealing, easy to wear, not necessarily something that stands out from the crowd a bunch because it does take ideas from a bunch of fragrances that came before it. I mentioned just 4, but realistically, you could probably make a list of like 10 fragrances that you can smell little bits and pieces of in here. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing. I'm just saying it's not really the most unique thing out there. But if you're looking just for attention, if you're looking just for compliments, that's all you care about, it'll do that for you for sure. Does it do it better than other slightly similar fragrances? I wouldn't say so. I think Azzaro The Most Wanted, which is another release from this year that also kind of takes a similar tact, a similar style. I think that one actually would do better for you if you're just looking for compliments, if you're just looking for attention. I think that one's a little bit better, a little bit more well done. I think Stronger With You Intensely, I think that one would be a better choice also. But if you like fragrances in that style, this will do that for you too. It's just not one of the upper echelon of that style. It's somewhere in the middle. Smells good, smells pleasant, it will get you attention. There are better alternatives. So that's just kind of where it falls. Absolutely though, don't mind the way it smells at all. And it's grown on me a little bit from when I did the first impression. Now let's talk about performance. It's really good actually. Over 8 hours of longevity off my skin, off clothing. It would last even longer. And in terms of projection, above average for at least 2 hours. Great fall fragrance, great winter fragrance. It'll cut through the cold and it's gonna have you smelling great day or night, either one. Also a really good date night fragrance, I would say. So Scandal overall has a lot of things going for it, but it does have some detractions as well, which is going to be the similarity that it has to other fragrances and other fragrances being done in a similar style, just a little bit better in my opinion. If you like scents of that style though, absolutely check it out. Presentation is nice. It's put together well. It doesn't smell like anything sticks out. It's a quality scent and it will absolutely get blasted by people that hate that really sticky sweet toffee caramel tonka mix of fragrances that we've been having here lately. But you know better than anybody if that's your type of scent. If it is, check it out. All right, guys, that will do it from me. As always, thanks for hanging out with me today. Let me know in the comments if you smelled this, and if you have, what you think about it. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.